It's showtime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay guys, welcome back to the STPL. My name is Kix. Joining me again is Rapid, of course. Now Zero just took down the camper in our second game to take us to a 2-0 for Net Wars, but it's going to be up to then ReV's next player. See if he can stop that happening.
Yeah, I will say that every time Zero wins a game in STPL or in any of the other tournaments he plays in or hosts or whatever it is, I just gotta give a huge shout out for a guy that does commentary and runs a league and does production and, by the way, negotiates these huge deals with Blizzard. Like,
Yeah.
Also he has like a real life and a real job and like a real fiance and like every part of like a normally productive life. But to also be good at Brood War, like I don't know, like I feel like at some point it's like when you're when you have like the little slider bars when you're making a D&D character or something. It's like you just you just put all your points in everything. It's like you don't run out of points. Like they don't decrease. You just keep going. I don't know. What a god. So huge congratulations to Zero for picking up the past win, for Net Wars for being a strong team and going up 2-0. And we'll see if they can close it out with a 3-0 victory here in Game 3 coming up.
Yeah, and if there's one player that will get you that 3-0, it's going to be this man right here for Net Wars, currently ranked top of the STPL player table with 15 for 2. It's going to be Yeti. Now, Yeti, an incredibly strong Protoss. His PvP, he is currently 5 for 0, so he is a beast at this matchup. And I mean, he went 7-0 last round, one of the best possible ratios. He played 7 out of 8 games, I believe, that Net Wars played, so he won every single match. And he has won his first game in round 3 already. And he's going to be up against another player I'm not too sure of. I believe he's one of ReV's newer pickups. And that's going to be CRVT. I don't know how the heck we're supposed to say that name. But he did... Okay, there's definitely something weird going on with the versus opponent race on the right side, so let's not mention that. But basically, he hasn't played in the SCPL so far, but he's still a fairly strong player. Now, they're going to be moving on to Neo Ground Zero, one of the more standard maps in the pool. Massive mains, lots of droppable area. There's no droppable cliff or anything behind the natural on this version. In the original there was, that was Ground Zero. But lots of unbuildable terrain in the middle, but in a PvP, it's unlikely we'll see it get past the 2-base game. But let's see if we can as we head on to our third game of the series. It's Net Wars Yeti versus ReV's Crvt.
Yeah, it's not straight, it's curved, obviously. Like, I don't know what else. So the only other thing that I could find is that potentially he's a big fan of the collaborative robot vacuum tool, which is a fully integrated tool that supplies compressed air and a signal for the control valve for robots. That's the only words that I could understand in the description of what this thing actually is. So I'm not sure if he's a big fan of that, but I'm just gonna take that as a yes. And his opponent spawning in the upper left-hand corner in the red. He is spawning in the upper left-hand corner in the red. Yeah, there we go. Got it.
And then his opponent down here in the bottom left-hand corner is Yeti for Net Wars. I like how we've got Incomplete in the chat as well, who's the clan leader of ReV, by the way, saying I also have no idea how to say it. So
potentially, CRVT also lives in Vermont and enjoys watching public television, at which point he would tune in to the Center for Research on Vermont, which is CRVT, which is a network of scholars and community members focusing on the study of Vermont. Maybe he just really loves the study of Vermont.
Maybe he does. He's a Vermont fanboy.
He's a Vermontologist, as we like to call them.
I'd like to think that the reason why he plays Brood War is not to actually, like, mine gas to get tech and build units. He's actually mining the gas to get robot parts for his... whatever the first thing you said was.
Yeah, that one. I don't know. I mean, there's literally no CRVT in Urban Dictionary either, so, like, that term just is not out there, my dude.
Maybe he
What's a Yeti, by the way?
A Yeti is, like, well, it's like an abominable snowman. I think I said that correctly.
actually. So it is. The English is abominable snowman. Yeti is the approximation of the Nepalese and Tibetan word for the unit, which is technically an ape-like entity taller than the average human, said to inhabit specifically the Himalayan region of Nepal, Bhutan, and Tibet. So if it's actually anywhere else except for that region, it cannot therefore be called a Yeti. So that's very important.
Wow, now, just going back to the game for a second, we've actually got Gate Core coming in for both players with gas, so mirror builds...
There's nothing to talk about, Kicks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, looks like we have got... one thing about CRBT's name as well is maybe he was going for like CRT TV, maybe he's like a Smash Brothers Melee player, needs a good CRT TV to play, but then typoed or something? I don't really know, but... you know what, his name has completely thrown me off. I can't think of anything else.
Well, something that might throw you off, Kicks, is the common confusion of the Yeti with the North American Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, which while yes is a hairy, upright walking ape-like being, it exists specifically in the Pacific Northwest and not on the other side of the world in the Himalayan mountain range. It's also a warm area being instead of a cold mountainous area being. He lives in woods and not on the mountains, so I'm just trying to point out the clarifications so that you guys don't misidentify your large woodland ape-like beings.
Yeah, and I think one of my funniest things related to the Sasquatch as well, just while we're waiting for the game to really kick into gear, is there's a page where people have supposedly seen Sasquatch, and one of them is out like in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, which is like, what the heck?
Maybe he's swimming, man. I don't know.
Yeah, or in a little boat.
Okay, well, let's actually talk about what's going on here.
Yeah.
We've got Zealots and Dragoons trying to do some Zealot Dragoon things. Is he actually going to lose a probe? Oh my god, that was really good control.
Yeah, Yeti really good at PvP, really good at control in general. Like, I can't even say his name. You know what, I'm just going to call him CRT, it might be easier. But, I mean, we're going to see the probe go down as well. Of course, the probe going in isn't too important. He got the full scout off with the Zealot even. Throwing away that Zealot is going to put him behind in units, but that shouldn't be too much of a huge problem. He is going to have the home field advantage, as you call it, the high ground as well. Now, range is actually coming in a lot. Well, I thought it was quicker for Yeti, but it looks like they both got it at similar times.
He's dead, Jim.
The first Robo is coming up. Thank you very much, CZ Slab, for the $5 donation. And he just said, how is Yeti's wife called? You know what, I don't know. How do you know he's got a wife?
Mrs. Yeti?
That's a good point.
Is there lore about Yetis and whether or not they marry? I don't know.
When
wow.
in Zelda Twilight Princess, there was a married Yeti, so maybe.
How would anyone know that? Okay, alright, good for you, Kicks. I don't know. Okay, cool. I don't know what his wife's name. Yetisha? What? Okay. Yetisha. There we go. I don't know, man. There's all kinds of Yetis out there. Who knows?
Okay.
Anyway, this one is great at Brood War. He wasn't able to get in with his first probe scout, so he's going to try it again, and similarly also will not be able to get in.
Yeah, so he's not scouted at all. Well, I think he scouted earlier just because it looks like the vision has been filled in, but he's going to be up against a quick Robo from Crvt. I mean, Incomplete said it was fine to call him Crvt, so let's call him that. We're going to have a Nexus coming down for Crvt up here in the top left position we've got. Oh, Crvt actually sending a Dragoon a little bit too close to Yeti's Dragoons. I'm going to take a little bit of shield damage, try to pull back. Oh, but both of them are actually going for Observatory, so...
Yeah. This is like so anticlimactic. I feel like we've just... I mean, the reason we were talking about Yetis and Bigfoots and stuff for the beginning is because, like literally nothing is happening this game. They're both on exactly the same production. The only difference is the only one gate for Yeti versus two for Crvt or whatever we're calling him. So yeah, that's the only thing that is actually different, other than maybe the shield battery up at the front door.
And the second gateway.
Wait, what? I just said second gateway kicks.
Oh, did you? My bad. But yeah, we've got the ReV tech. We've got the ReV tech up for Crvt already. The ReV tech just coming in for Yeti now. I don't know if you just said that as well. If you did, like my brain is dying, but it's all good. This shield battery is kind of weird, but I guess he's a little bit worried about the counter. But he should be pretty good right now. He's going to have an economic advantage against Yeti now. Looks like his probe count is doing pretty well back at home. Yeti, I believe, has actually less probes overall, so Crvt doing a really good job so far.
Yeah, Yeti is doing the build that CRVT is doing, but without the Nexus. So you would theoretically imagine that would give you somewhat of an advantage, right? He's trying to hunt this observer down, I think.
Oh, he nearly killed his own. Whoa, he attacked his robo facility. Would have been funny if he killed it. What a way to lose your first PvP in the STPL. Kill your own robo by accident.
Yeti's banking minerals. I thought he went up to 400, so I thought he was going to throw out a Nexus, but he didn't have any probes near there. So, I mean, maybe he still goes for it. I thought that he was going to sack the Nexus, guard the front, so that he didn't, or so that CRVT didn't know. But he got in with the observer. So it's like, well, what were you trying to hide? So now he's going to push across the map into a shield battery with full energy and a Reaver.
Yep.
So
this may not be a good move by Yeti. I mean, we've got Crvt with the proxy pylon as well. And oh my god, he's actually going to scout out the shuttle as well. This is such a huge deal. But oh wow, the shield battery actually a little bit too far forward. Gonna go down before anything can be done with it. But it's going to be Reavers versus Dragoons on both sides. Good connections to start with by Crvt, but the first Reaver even does go down.
Yeah, and he's targeting the shuttle and the Reaver separately, so they're both taking a lot of damage. Finally, the Reaver's out, and the one for CRVT does survive just barely. But yeah, that was actually a sick hold.
Yeah, you know what? I genuinely thought once he'd lost that first Reaver, that was going to go in the way of Yeti, but it didn't. Crvt manages to hold on. He did lose a Reaver, but he is still going to be able to add a shuttle, so this is going to allow him to do a little bit of counter-harassment now, which is something that isn't going to be available to Yeti. And you can see the Nexus isn't even done over here.
Yeah, so this is huge win for CRVT. Actually, Yeti misplayed that last fight pretty hugely. He had a shuttle, and like shuttle Reaver is just so much infinitely better than just Reavers, but he didn't micro the Reaver and the shuttle at all. He pulled it back, dropped the Reaver, and then they both just sat there. And his Reaver just got targeted down for free. So, man, this is, if you took off the nameplates, I would have reversed the names, because I expect great PvP from Yeti. He has shown some spectacular PvP games, and this one looks a little bit off. So for the near future, he's going to have a little bit of a deficit, especially when it comes to economy. But he might be able to pull it back with a Reaver shuttle drop if he goes for it.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's going to have to deal with the Reaver shuttle drop coming in from Crvt. Crvt also moving his Dragoons down into the map. Now, one thing to be sure of is in PvP, it's certainly possible to do a counter throw here. And I mean, Crvt's going to have to be careful. He's going to throw one Dragoon for free, possibly two. And that's moves that he can't afford to make if he wants to take down someone like Yeti, who's about to be on 4-gate production, his second base finished up. But it's going to be kind of like a repeat of the last one. Even the Reaver count is going to be the same, but we're going to have the shuttle in here for Crvt. Ooh.
Yeah, shuttle of course makes a huge difference if you can micro your units, but it looks like the shuttle went down immediately.
Oh no!
Oh my god, Yeti just bopped him. What on earth? Man, the Reaver giveth and the Reaver taketh away kicks. We just saw the hand of the Reaver god reach down and crush CRVT's spinal cord. Like his memory is erased from the universe. Like this, what on earth? Yeti just, it wasn't even close. Oh my god.
Yeah, the Scarabs were absolutely insane by Yeti there. Now CRVT Crvt back home with just Dragoons against 2 Reavers. He's going to lose his Observer as well. And this could be it. Yeti could have done the ultimate counter. 3 Dragoons go down immediately. I'd love to see how many kills this Reaver has. It's on 5 kills. And the probe's being pulled away as well.
Damn. Okay. I mean, he is just gonna really just absolutely destroy this. He's the Reaver on the high ground for CRVT is actually totally useless. It's now just now crawling into range. Okay, there it is. Okay, it was useless until it wasn't. So now it's actually gonna kill everything, and Yeti gets punished for overextending.
Well, the funny thing is, this is like, take the game back like 2-3 minutes. This is what I thought was going to happen the first time. We saw a huge unit advantage by Yeti, but just the Scarabs not going his way. The Reaver going to attack the other Reaver. Yeti with good shot micro. They're going to pick it up, save his Reaver from any damage. Oh, but losing more of these Dragoons though. And the Dragoons of Crvt. Oh boy. The Scarab's actually bugging each other out. Wow! The Scarab actually getting caught on the ramp is going to save Kirby's Reaver.
That's insane. Okay, what is this? Man, you think you understand PvP, and then you watch this game, and you're just like, well, so Yeti was super behind, and then his Reavers just blow everything up, and it's like, oh, well. And then he counterattacks across the map, and, like, Scarabs bugged Scarabs. I didn't even, wow, that's, damn. What a hold. Both players with insane holds. They're just not allowed to attack each other anymore, Kicks.
I mean, people always say that PvP's a coin flip, right? That's one of Artus's big sayings from ASL 4. I know that was mainly on Gladiator, but still. Like, we saw the ultimate coin flip there of the Scarabs bugging each other out. That could have gone either way. And just by complete luck, I believe, Crvt got the advantage of that, and that keeps him in the game. But Crvt is having a little bit of trouble with his production now. We see Crvt still on 3 gateways, Yeti up to 5. So slowly but surely Yeti is going to get the unit advantage again, and it looks like Yeti feels like he has enough to run him down again. Is the third time going to be lucky for Yeti? But Crvt's also moving out at the same time as well. I just don't know how the hell you can call this game. It's impossible.
No, there's just actually no way to call this game. I think right now it looks better for Yeti as he's caught CRVT's units out on the map. And I think this might be kind of the tipping point, really. I mean, maybe there were more as the seesaw was going back and forth, but Yeti's army just seems so much more robust. He has actually theoretically more minerals left to mine on his base, and getting a third as a Protoss in PvP is super, super difficult. So if you just consider both players playing on these bases for the rest of the game, I think Yeti is just in a much better spot.
Yeah, no, Yeti's going to use his unit advantage to once again try and get the economic advantage. I mean, this is going to be his first time in this game, but he is going to take the bottom right base. This is so far away from CRVT, and Crvt going to try and take his third base, but this is going to be at a mineral only, so going to be a little bit more of an advantage moving forward for Yeti if he can do it. Looks like Yeti has so many Dragoons right now. Has either player actually built a Zealot this game? I think there was one at the very beginning, but there hasn't been any since, and that's almost unheard of. Like, we're 30 minutes into a PvP and neither player has got a like really clear advantage. But it's going to be this engagement that I think that could decide how this is going to go. We're going to have shells in Reavers for both sides. Not many Dragoons for Crvt, but Yeti still looks a little bit worried about pushing in. He's seen what can happen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, I expect the player with the bigger army to just die, because it just doesn't matter anymore, apparently. So, the initial Scarab is actually pretty good, but Yeti has so many more Dragoons, he can just dive on top. And the Reaver and Shuttle Control were, oh my god, he actually did save it. What on earth? Wow. But yeah, more Dragoons beats less Dragoons kicks.
Yeah.
At least that one rule survives. But what a nutty game.
That was... I mean, that was quite possibly one of the most back and forth PvPs I've ever seen, but the one thing that CRVT can really take from that is what really lost him the game was he just didn't have enough gateways. Like, if he'd had a few more gateways, maybe he would have been even on units with Yeti. He was ahead most of the game. He pushed in and got really unlucky with the Scarab, so then, of course, Yeti suffered the same fate as well. So... I mean, you can't really say too much about that, but he definitely shouldn't be feeling bad about that game. And I mean, Yeti is probably not feeling too good about that win either, because that was nearly a loss. So...
Oh, it definitely was. Yeti had like the god Scarabs to hold that first push, and while I will say that like Yeti's opener being so late on his expo, like I don't really know. I'm not nitpicky enough to be able to go through and find the specific moments, but I think definitely the fights back and forth is a great way to describe that series. But with Yeti's inevitable win, that does give NetWars the 3-0. So congratulations on them for winning the best of 5. But because this is STPL, we still play the 4th game, which is coming up.
Yep, it'll be up in just a second. See you guys very soon.